meeting, the Coeur d'Alene Area's Economic Development Corporation. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
You're like on the wrong side.
Any public comment? Yes. Come up, please. If you have public comment, come on up to the podium here, please, and give your name and address.
Nathan Baker, 2699 Versailles Drive. That's in Coeur d'Alene, of course. Everybody down the skate park calls me Opie. I'm one of the guys that works with the North Idaho Skate Park Association. Right. And the park's coming close to completion. I actually just left there now and saw them putting the last transitional pour in place. And you know, I know you guys are in the development and renewal business, and you know, it's a major development for skateboarding in Coeur d'Alene, what's going on down there, and it's going to renew a lot of the love of skateboarding that a lot of the, you know, not just the kids, and we do it for the kids, but I think what we're going to see too is a lot of adults who used to have a love for that sport have an atmosphere in an arena where they can also participate in that sport with their kids, or just as an adult who loves it. And so we're going to hopefully see some really great things come out of that place. You know, and we got the grand opening on the 6th of October. Mm-hmm. We hopefully will see you all there. 10 a.m. We're going to be cutting a ribbon, and you know, you guys made this all possible. So we would love to see you there to do it. You know, it takes a lot of bake sales to make a $400,000 skate park happen. And so we knew that that was an impossibility in the real world. So we knew that our job was really to hopefully make sure that good funds met good construction, and the value that we're getting for that skate park is amazing. And what it's gonna do, hopefully, dollar for dollar for this community will be amazing as well. So just thank you so much. Everybody's so grateful for what's going on down there. And hopefully we'll see you down there for a good get-together, and we'll have a blast with our brand new skate park.
Well, we may not be skateboarders, but we're pretty excited too.
I meant to ask last night, and actually just driving by, I kind of struck me again right now. Of course, they're doing the work, but there's all of that bare dirt around. And how does that kind of apron around there get finished? Is it concrete or grass or?
So, and Richie has not, he's the lead for Evergreen Skate Parks, has not done what he has said yet so far. So, and he said that the last pour will go in place Monday morning, or will be in place Monday. And then they're going to grade that out. So it'll be graded with dirt. So, you know, we're not going to have a nice turf for everybody to enjoy it on. Don't wear your fancy shoes. Mm-hmm. You know, it's October in North Idaho, so we're gonna be out there with dirt around the apron, but we're going to make sure it's graded out and it's safe for everybody.
And is that the permanent?
The permanent
around there? I mean,
well, and they're going to grade it out in a nice fashion. You know, the Parks Department has to be able to mow it. Yeah. So if it has to be mowed, it can't be too crazy. So, you know, they're going to have that graded out in a nice fashion. And then I know that I think probably the springtime, you'd have to talk to Bill and find out when they're going to actually do the greenscape around it.
Okay,
and put the turf in. Yeah. And they've got sprinklers scheduled. So, you know.
Okay.
So it'll be solid up to the edge of the pours then?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, and I believe it's turf in most all of the places. Some of the central planters may have just, you know, natural vegetation, so it has less watering needs. Sure. But it'll be all landscaped around there. Yep. The Parks Department doesn't allow any ugly toes in the area. So. Yep.
No, we're looking forward to it, and we thank you guys for the time and effort and planning you put into the design of it. So thanks.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for letting us. You know, I mean, we don't often get the opportunity to really engage in a community project like this as a community, or as, you know, as a skateboarder, and so thank you, because not everybody gets that chance.
Mr. Mayor.
I just wanted to add that over the last couple of months that I have been approached by more skateboarders thanking the city and Ignite for stepping up for this for the skate park. And it's been, usually when I'm in a coffee shop and I get approached by someone that says they want to say something, it's usually a lot of times not the greatest thing in the world. But they have been so thankful that it's been really a great feeling to know that it's really, really appreciated by all the skating community out there. So we're happy to do that, and we're excited for the 6th of October.
Thank you.
Thanks for your comments.
For coming
Opie.
down.
Any other public comment? Okay, next, then I'll entertain a motion for the board meeting minutes of August 15th.
I enter a motion to approve the minutes of August 15th.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion for the special call meeting of August 17th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the August 17th special call minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on that one? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. A motion to approve the minutes for the August 22nd special call meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the August 22nd special call minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion, corrections, additions, edits? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. And now the last one, the September 10th special call meeting.
I'll finish it off. Motion to approve the September 10th special call minutes.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
That's okay.
All in favor for that one?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Jim, thanks for your leadership on that.
It seemed like we'd had a lot of meetings.
I know. Good ones. Next on the agenda is the time for the opening of the bids for 301 Lakeside Avenue. So I'm going to open these bids, and then I'll hand them to Danielle.
And as Scott's opening them, I just want to make one statement. So it appears, we don't know for sure because we haven't opened them, that we may have two bids from a similar bidder or the same bidder. We do have a provision in the bid documents that says you can't add or change an original bid. So long as those two bids are independent and they fully function independently, we would accept one of them, which is higher. But to the extent that they aren't independent and the second bid modifies the first bid, we would not be able to accept that bid. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of that in anticipation of
We wouldn't
this.
be able to accept either bid then?
Either bid,
Okay.
right.
Okay.
If they somehow interwoven.
This first bid is from Donald Smock.
This looks like it's evidence of
So that's part of, that should have
looks
been
like it's
included
part
in
of
this
another
bid.
bid,
So
yeah. Let's
this is
see.
the other one from the same person, so that'll make it easier.
Perfect. It's two pieces of the same bid.
Although it's in here.
Do we have a check too? So this bid is from Donald R. Smock Development Company, in the total amount of $710,000. And in the event of a tie, he will increase the bid to $715,000.
That was Donald Smock Development Company? Company,
Donald R. Smock Development Co., period.
go, okay.
Okay,
710,000.
even.
Yes. This bid is from Douglas Rupiper, in the amount of $667,000. And in the event of a tie, up to a total of $687,000.
667?
667,
You spell Douglas's last name?
Rupiper.
Right, okay.
This bid is from Ferguson and Schmidt LLC in the amount of $659,999 with a $10,000 tiebreaker provision.
Can you spell Ferguson?
F-U-R-G, it looks like E-R-S-O-N. And Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T LLC.
And that was for?
$659,999.
Okay.
Okay? That's it.
So,
I have three bids. Donald Smock Development Company, $710,000. Douglas Rupiper for $667,000 even, and Ferguson and Schmidt LLC for $659,999. The minimum bid was $650,000 per the bid packet.
and the code tells us that we need to take the highest bid. And all of the bids appear to be compliant. It has the deposit required and the evidence of financing. So I would say that Donald, our Smock Development Company, would be the high bid with the compliant bid.
So we would need a motion.
To accept it.
I move to accept the bid of Donald Smock at $710,000 for the building at 301 Lakeside Avenue.
I second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Very much, Donald R. Schmuck
Development.
Development Company. Okay, next on the agenda is the presentation for the City of Coeur d'Alene Arts Commission, Jennifer Drake. Thank you very much for coming.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Jennifer Drake, Chair of the Coeur d'Alene Arts Commission. Let me begin by apologizing for any hoarseness or coughing during my presentation. My 3 children have returned to school, and so has my immune system. I really appreciate being able to present to you on behalf of the Arts Commission. I'm going to start with a little bit of a history of the Commission for those of you who aren't very familiar with who we are and what we do. We are the City of Coeur d'Alene's entity for public art. We were established by the City Council for the purposes of improving the cultural environment of the City of Coeur d'Alene, enhancing the growth of industry and commerce, and partnering with the various artistic organizations to ensure the role of arts in the community. Coeur d'Alene was the first city in Idaho to provide for a funding mechanism for public art. That happened on June 1st, 1999. It's something we are all very proud of, and everybody in Coeur d'Alene should be proud of, because we definitely led the way with that. What this means is that 1.33% of the total cost of all eligible above-ground capital improvement projects are now dedicated to fund art in public places. And pretty much how it becomes eligible is if it's at least $25,000 in above-ground capital improvement. We have a number of roles and responsibilities. We oversee the Public Arts Program, which is the Percent for Arts Fund, and any additional art funding through the city. We develop policies and goals for selection, placement, and maintenance of works of art in perpetuity. We integrate a wide range of public art into the community to reflect diverse communities, artistic disciplines, and points of view. We oversee memorials for public parks and donations of artwork to the public collection. So anytime anybody wants to put up a memorial for someone or wants to donate something to the city, that goes through our vetting process as well, and we are in charge of that. We extend public art from the downtown core into all corners of the city, which was actually a pretty big deal when we started, because at that time, the only art around town was pretty much downtown, and now you can find it in many, many other places. And something that we're also very proud of is that we select art through a juried process that invites citizens to play a role. All of our selection committees are comprised of arts professionals, architects, city staff, and then a large number of citizens who volunteer for positions so they get to have a say in the art that actually happens in Coeur d'Alene. These are a number of our recent accomplishments, and we've really done so much in the last 20 years, and I'm only showing you things that we have done in my time on the Arts Commission. So we're talking the last 6.5 years or so. We do art currents, which are the sculptures that change every 2 or 3 years up and down Sherman, and also this year extended into Riverstone. We have the 3 large pieces in McEwen, the Allium Spring Chorus, Under the Rainbow, and the Explorers, which is the bronze that children can play on by tubs. We have handled all of the signal box and utility box wraps around town, which has definitely been a hugely successful project for us. We get so many positive comments on that, not just from people in Coeur d'Alene, but also from people in other cities who drive through, see them. I can't even tell you the number of phone calls and letters we've received saying, hey, we're looking to do this in our town. We saw it in Coeur d'Alene. You guys did such a great job. How do we do this? We are doing the Front Avenue bronzes, which right now are the Working Man and the Idaho Farmer. We've done a number of roundabouts, including Umbrellas Gracilis, which is the picture in the bottom right corner there, and the 3 in the Fort Grounds area, which are the Gift, Intersection, and Trilogy. We handled the wastewater treatment center bugs, as they became known very fondly. Those are the 6 sculptures in front of the wastewater treatment plant that show the up-close versions of the bugs that go to work in our water. We handled the bike racks that go all the way up 4th Street. We just finished installing about a week ago the library bike racks that are in the front of the library. We did the Sherman Square Park mural, the Fiddler Crab that's in Mill River, the Chief Morris Antelope bronze that was a partnership with the Coeur d'Alene Tribe. Twin Towers is a piece that we dedicated at the new fire station out on Atlas. We've partnered with a number of other arts organizations in what we called our Community Arts Support Program, where we gave funds to Emerge, Inland Northwest Opera, Out of the Shadows Theater, Coeur d'Alene Symphony, and another of other small groups that are doing things more along the lines of performing arts and community arts, youth classes, things like that, that just weren't getting the attention that we thought they deserved because we are the Arts Commission, and we feel like all of those things truly are art and beneficial to the public. And we also have a number of pieces in Riverstone, including Kate, Quietude, and Undercurrent is our new piece. It was just finished installing, and the dedication for that is going to be October 1st at 5 p.m. I highly recommend you all come and see it. It's an incredible piece, and it's right next to the pond, and it really adds something to that area as well. Those are all of the things we have completed. Our continuing projects that we have going on right now are the Celtice Way roundabouts, which is our single biggest project we've ever undertaken. It's the 2 very large roundabouts, and we decided to put them out as one call so that they are cohesive and work together. Those right now are in the final stage. We are down to the 6 finalists, and the selection committee is meeting October 1st to select the final piece that will go in those 2 roundabouts. We are continuing with Art Currents with our current pieces for another year. Inspire is a new piece by local artist Jason Sanchez that is going in the Fort Corners area, kind of by the Memorial Grandstand. That's going to be a very large piece. It's about 18 feet tall, and people get to walk around it. We are continuing the Signal and Utility Box Wraps program. I think we just finished wrapping 6 new boxes as of last week. We are also expanding the Front Avenue bronzes. In the future, we are hoping for the lumberjack, the miner, and I'm really hoping for one female in there. We're not sure what she would be yet. I'm aiming for like a Farragut nurse or somebody in the healthcare industry. I think it'd be important to honor that industry and the history of the area, and also, of course, have a female represented. We are having another library bike rack installed right down here in between the library and McEwen. And coming up on Wednesday, October 10th, is the 23rd Annual Mayor's Awards in the Arts. It's a fun, free to the public event where we just celebrate arts in Coeur d'Alene. and give awards to those who have really done something to further the arts in our community.
I'm sorry, when is that?
That's Wednesday, October 10th.
Thank you.
I believe 6 p.m. And it's out at the Hagedon Event Center. So how do we do all this? We have three main budgets that the Arts Commission pulls from. We have the percent for the arts, which is what I already mentioned. That's the city ordinance that gives 1.33% of all above-ground capital improvement projects to public art. Right now, about 1% goes into the art fund, and then the 0.33%, or something along those lines, goes into the maintenance fund. The maintenance fund is something that we just keep open and necessary whenever something is vandalized or damaged by weather or something needs to be moved. That's pulled from the maintenance fund. That fund is entirely dependent on city growth and varies widely by year. The current balance is about $65,000, budgeted projects for $22,000, which leaves a remainder of about $43,000. Then it comes to our two Ignite funds, which, as you can see, is the vast majority of the Arts Commission funding. The Lake District is for only for placement of art within the Lake District boundaries, which you know expires in 2021. The current balance is about $248,000, but our budgeted projects are at $211,000. So after we complete the projects that have been budgeted and approved already, we'll have a remainder of about $37,000 in that fund. Then there's the Ignite River District, which is only for placement of art within the River District boundaries, which, as you know, expires in 2027. That balance is at $288,563, with budgeted projects at about $100,000, leaving a remainder of $188,563. The summary of this slide shows you how incredibly generous Ignite is to the Arts Commission, and in how, without Ignite funding, there really isn't too much left for us to do right now. I've been told that for the city, the above-ground capital improvement projects that are planned out for the next couple of years are very small, very low-cost projects. So the Arts Commission has been told not to expect much funding into the Percent for Arts Fund for the next year or two. I'm not sure the details on that, but as you can see, most of the funding does come from Ignite.
Jennifer, are the roundabouts on South East in that $100,000 that you have budgeted for River?
That's from this past year's fiscal budget. So we already spent that. We're already spending that out of the River Fund.
For South East?
Yes.
Okay.
So here are our budgeted projects for the rest of the fiscal year of 18 and 2019. These are all the projects that we're hoping to do in the next year. We always put in some money for a purchase of an art currents piece. As you've probably noticed, we have a number of lovely bronzes around the area, and we have decided it's time for a professional bronzes review. Having a professional bronze artist, someone like Terry Lee, to go around to every single bronze and make sure they're cleaned and patinaed and protected in a way that really protects the artwork. We are going to put a monumental piece in the front of City Hall. If you've been to City Hall, you notice there's a patch of ground there right in front of the entrance, and it's just begging for art, so we decided to make that a priority. We are once again doing the Mayor's Awards in the arts. We are going to put another piece in the Four Corners area right at where Northwest Boulevard meets, what's that intersection there? The Fort Ground Drive?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a really prominent spot that's going to get a ton of drive-by and walking traffic. So we really want something impressive and high quality to go there. We're hoping to do 2 new murals once spring and summer hits next year. We've also decided that Riverstone Park could really use an entrance sign or arch of some sort, so we've decided to make that as a priority as well. We always put in some money for maintenance and education just in case we need it, and so we don't have to go back to council for those things that might come up during the year. And then also professional services. Those things are like printing the Arts Currents brochures and the Art in Motion brochures, which show that we partnered with the Ped Bike Committee to do biking and walking paths of all the art in Coeur d'Alene. So as you can see, we have quite a full docket, as we do every year, and we are trying to continuously walk that balance of operating in the black, which we have done in the entirety of our existence, but also spending the money so that people of Coeur d'Alene can really appreciate all the work that Ignite does for them, all the work that the Arts Commission does for them, get all the art out there for people to truly be able to appreciate it. And I'd just like you to leave it with this. I thought it was a fantastic way to sum up not just what art means to people, but what it means to the economy of a city. The intangible benefits of public art, aesthetic beauty, cultural interpretation, education, inspiration, and general improvement of the urban environment are well known. But because these are considered soft benefits, they are sometimes dismissed as a low priority, especially during challenging economic times. Investments in public art are not just for cultural or aesthetic purposes. They also can have a positive bottom-line economic impact with material financial benefits to their owners. Good art is good business. Questions?
Yep. Just wondering on the, as far as the money that flows from Ignite, does that get generated through that same formula of 1.3%? Or how do we determine the amount?
So with the board, it's a very discretionary decision by the board. Historically, it started at 3% of our revenues were reserved for transmission to the Arts Commission on the fiscal year. A few years ago, the board changed that down to 2%. So 2% of our annual revenues are accrued on the fiscal year basis, and then this time every year the board decides whether or not to allocate those accrued funds by district to the Arts Commission.
And so would it be anticipated that if we had future districts, that they would also probably generate something like that? Or?
That would be your decision, the board's decision.
Yep. Okay.
And then if those future districts did exist, any monies that came from those districts, that would be for art just within those district boundaries.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, a question for me, Tony or Danielle. The Lake District closing in 2021, so the funds are transferred from Ignite to the city to be put in that fund. Can they, once that's transferred, is that theirs to spend, could be spent beyond 2021? So and is it still the restrictions that those funds need to be spent in the Lake District?
They would need to be spent in the Lake District because that was the agreement by which they were transferred, but I think that they could spend them past that date because they're on to an entity that's going to, do something that was under the plan.
So they could still have funds that are ongoing and spent beyond 2021?
They could spend it beyond 2021, but
Okay.
it would have to be on the district area.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Jennifer, thanks a million for coming.
Thank you again for letting me come and tell you about the Arts Commission.
Good info.
Thank you.
Thank you.
October 1st, 5 p.m.
Yes.
Riverstone Pond.
It still should be light outside at 5 p.m.
Gosh, I hope. Finance Committee, you batting for?
I am pitch hitting for Commissioner Arman. Anybody need a copy of the financial? Brad,
Printed
Dan?
part of it. Oh, I don't have that part.
Nor do I.
Thanks.
Need three.
So I'll start off with the Lake District balance sheet. The Lake District experienced a $597,255 decrease in cash assets from July month end. Under fixed assets, the Burlington Northern Santa Fe right-of-way line item decreased by $364,097, reflects the sale of the railroad right-of-way property located east of Beebe Boulevard sold to Active West. Remaining asset value pertains to railroad property located west of Beebe Boulevard. So as you recall, we had that strip of railroad right-of-way that's kind of separated by Beebe Boulevard. We sold the eastern portion to Dennis Cunningham of Active West, and we've retained the western portion of that. Under other assets, the Lake District 2016 Series Note Reserve Account increase of $53 for the month of August. Under liabilities and fund balance, the bond for the 2017 Series Note line item value reflects an increase of $809,000 due to an August draw on that note. All the other liability parameters are either unchanged or normal for the month, including a 2% credit due to the arts line item for the revenue check received from the county in August. Turning to the Lake District P&L, the Lake District received $66,998 in tax increment revenue from the county in August. Under agency-funded initiatives, the downtown parking garage had an expense of $811,538. The Four Corners project had an expense of $967,392. And the Memorial Field Grandstand project had an expense of $6,960 for the design contract. At the bottom of the page, you'll see property divestitures. The net line item value of $349,742 reflects the sale of the Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railroad right-of-way to Active West for $319,996, and accumulated depreciation of divested properties totaling $29,746. Switching to the River District, pretty quiet month on the River District front. The River District experienced a $67,832 decrease in cash assets from July month end. And pretty no changes on the balance sheet other than the 2% credit to the due to arts line item. On the River District P&L, the River District received $14,288 in tax increment revenue from the county in August. The agency-funded programs line item reflects a $187,077 payment made to the Southeast Way project. The professional fees line item value includes $38,550 paid to Welch Comer for planning efforts associated with the Atlas Waterfront project, plus a payment of $155,000 received from the City of Coeur d'Alene for their share of the Welch Comer Atlas Waterfront planning effort, thus resulting in the negative or credit value you see for the month. So we want to thank our friends at the City of Coeur d'Alene for this transfer of funds. All other P&L expenditures are in line with normal operating for the month. So fairly quiet months on both districts. If you have any questions.
Well done.
As for the payables, I'll pass these out. I don't know if everybody need one. Steve, you need one? So quite a few payables this month. I'm gonna have to either get bigger paper or better glasses. So the, I'm just teasing. Mine bigger. I was just teasing. But the first payable is for Edelman Burke, total of $6,433.35, which is broken out in general legal counsel of $180. And the majority of it's for the district planning effort for the Atlas Waterfront Initiative of $6,253.35. So we're spending a lot of time with our legal counsel in Boise, who has great expertise in developing these plans that the board will be, and board and city council and planning and zoning will be reviewing in the upcoming months. For Holly Troxel, we have general legal counsel, cost of $8,830.93. We have efforts on the Lake District totaling $3,068, which is focusing on the Lakeside Avenue property sales and North Park Drive surplus property sales and the railroad right-of-way sale. And for the River District, we have a charge of $3,611.50, which was focused on the Atlas Millside Initiative and the Washington Trust Bank loan documents that are being prepared for our new note with the River District. So in total for the month, Holly Troxel's bill is $15,510.43. The next line item is ICRIMP. Our first half of our fiscal 19 premium is due October 1st for $2,862. Rich and Associates Midtown Parking Study, the invoice came in at $8,500, which was our agreement. City of Coeur d'Alene, the city charges us for broadcasting these fine board meetings that we have every month. The annual charge is $1,200. City of Coeur d'Alene Arts Commission, we just had a fine presentation from Ms. Drake. So the accrued funds for the River District for the board's consideration are $27,201. And for the Lake District, the accrued funds are $91,607 for a total of $118,808. Memorial Field Grandstand. Architects West Design, the final payment for their design and project management effort is $27,082. That equals the $68,083 contract amount. Performing Arts Center feasibility study. We have another invoice from HVS Consulting of $3,313.15. They have a little remaining as they finalize their report. Atlas Mill Site Initiative, Welch-Comer Planning Team, $8,960. Welch-Comer Atlas Site Engineering Services, this is where we are sharing the expense with the City of Coeur d'Alene, $24,875. The Traffic Impact Study, which we are also sharing the impact with a 50-50 split with the city, this invoice of $13,170. So the total for that project payable is $47,005. Celtice Way Roadway Revitalization, Welch-Comer Engineers Construction Phase Management, $17,200.50. This is the final payment for their services on that project. We still have some funds to pay for the contractor. He's still wrapping up landscaping, which I'll give you an update here shortly. But the Welch-Comer Project Management Services is complete. Downtown Parking Structure, Miller Stauffer Design Team, $11,250. They're just about done with that project. You can see on the right-hand side, we don't have a whole lot remaining in that budget. Contractor T. La Riviere, $1,005,527.50. So we are getting close to, being, hopefully we'll have one final payment next month. As you see, we have 2.9 million left, so we'll have 1.9 million, and I think we'll probably get most of that done this month. We have the Strata third-party testing fee of $34,739. This equates to their agreed-to amount contract for testing for $39,252. So in total, for the parking garage, we have $1,051,516.50. And finally, the Four Corner Project. Welch-Comer Engineers Construction and Staking Services payment of $29,940. Construction and Park Materials, $12,016.88. And our skateboard park, $109,520. So in total for Four Corner Project, $151,476.88. So in total, with all those added up, we have a payables this month of $1,450,907.81.
Well done. Discussions, comments, questions?
Motion.
I'll entertain a motion then to approve the financials and payables.
I move that we approve the financials and the payables as presented for the month of August and September. Well, September? Is it September?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion at all? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks. Job. That's a home run.
You drink.
Parking Commissioner.
Yeah, just real briefly, Mr. Chairman, on the City Parking Commission, we've had a subcommittee reviewing the parking rates at the various parking lots and structures, and they still, everybody is still not in agreement, and they're going to be doing a little bit more studying on that, and we're going to meet again in October and talk about that. So there's some debate on whether to make the rates more consistent, or some lots are more prime and should be more than others, and the new structure versus the McEwen structure. So there was not total agreement on that yet, so they're still working on that. I don't know with the city, what the city council is doing on that. You were supposed to have it.
We're waiting for a recommendation
Yeah.
from the Parking Commission. So it'll come through Parking Commission, probably through General Services, and then to City Council to approve the final rates. Probably what we need to focus on first are the parking rates for the parking garage. That's
Yeah.
probably number one on the list, because we need to establish those, because that's going to be open here pretty quick. The others are something that we can take more time to study, that if we're going to be adjusting rates in some other areas, we can take a little bit more time. We're out of our peak season. We definitely want to have something in place if we're going to do something different in the springtime. But the new parking garage should be our primary focus.
Yeah. Yeah, Troy Tymason had some ideas on an interim way to set some rates for the new garage.
He's back there with those ideas in his head right now.
Yeah. And I think the general thought was we need to take care of the new garage, but we're getting into the off-season, so we want to get it right and not change the rates another time after we do these, but have it ready well in time of next spring when things pick up again.
And then one thing, when Hanukkah was here, I had asked her the question about how she felt about that, and she says, you're going to want to drive traffic into that parking structure. So you're going to need to make it attractive, more attractive to park there. So that probably needs to be in your thinking of when you're setting rates and whether there's a free element in there or not, but so you need to drive traffic to park in there.
That was in there too. That was part of the thinking, and there was also some thinking about how we're starting to get maxed out on monthly passes down at McEwen here, and may drive some more of those up into the new one on Coeur Lane up there.
Good point.
So that's about it. I don't know if Tony has anything new on the new parking structure. I think, are we still in mid-October, I think, was the last?
The contractor's still focusing on exterior masonry work and interior cleanup and light installation. They still plan to have the project complete by mid-October, and the 2-week delay is due to wet weather that they experienced this spring, as well as that cement shortage that occurred in August due to the trail derailment in Montana. So that's why we're a couple weeks late. So still optimistic, and they still plan to partially open up Coeur d'Alene Avenue by the end of September.
That'll be nice.
So we're close.
They're making great progress. The power washing looks really good, too. The facility looks really nice now.
That's a good-looking parking structure. You don't see many nicer-looking parking structures than that. But that was
What
the
we were
idea.
hoping for.
Yeah. We're trying to make that an asset for downtown, and I think it's looking good.
Yeah, I think the main point of contention at that last parking commission was for the premium lot kind of in the basement as what should be the right price range. And some were, maximum, what a great deal to be, covered and all of that. And others saying, well, yeah, but we got to fill it. So, but I'm sure they'll get to consensus, so.
Yeah, Dan made a good point there. That was another point of contention on the lower secured part. So, I guess if you'd agree with me, part of the parking commission thought that was worth a premium rate, and part of them thought it was worth a super premium rate.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
And there's some talk about whether you have a dedicated space or not, just, some different things like that. So anyway, the good thing is you have somebody as brilliant as Troy Tymason that's come up with a interim solution while we come up with a permanent rate structure. We were lucky to have him there at the meeting the other day.
Lucky enough to have him here, too.
Yeah.
I think one thing that we may look at when we're talking about monthly passes is to maybe be selling these passes for a longer period than just a month. There's a lot of work that goes involved in issuing those monthly passes out. Now, we still can have monthly passes available, but we probably need to look at having multiple months, even an annual pass available for purchase, just for the convenience of issuing those passes.
It would be wonderful.
Some of the discussion on the lower part that was secured was on doing a minimum of 6 months, just because of that fact, so we're not going crazy trying to renew those every single month and so forth. They thought about maybe starting with 6 months while we're working on the rates, just so we don't go a year out, but maybe have a 6-month rate, and then that'll get renewed sometime in the spring, whatever 6 months is. That's a good point, and they're considering that.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the exact figures, but my sense is that the year-to-year increase on parking revenue is coming along nicely. So,
yeah, I'll get an update for you at the next meeting on that. But we're increased substantially over last year, so it's doing good. We're recovering and So it's looking pretty good. So that's going to be a better and better revenue source for improving future parking as time goes on. So I think we have a pretty good thing going.
Good. Thank you. Executive Director's Report.
Mr. Chairman, just a few items to update the board on. Atlas Waterfront Project, the final versions of the 3 district plans, which are the amended Lake District Plan, the amended River District Plan, and the new Atlas District Plan, are being prepared along with the final version of the Welch-Comer Master Plan feasibility analysis. So those are underway and will be to you for review in the not-too-distant future. Performing Arts Center feasibility study. As you recall, last month, the board, we had a presentation with a draft report, and the board asked that that report be placed on the Ignite website for a month to give feedback to the consultants back in Chicago. That report was also posted on the city's website as well as CDA 2030's website. HVS Consulting received 2 comments over the past month that related to facility sizing. Those comments did not change the content of the draft report. Therefore, HVS is finalizing their report. In the coming weeks, CDA 2030 will meet with city leadership representatives, which are Hillary Anderson and Kiki Miller, to discuss establishing a steering committee that would be tasked with evaluating the fundraising potential for the Performing Arts Center initiative, as well as determining next steps in the process. So basically, CDA 2030 is kind of teeing us up for a handoff to a steering committee, which is part of the plan from when they agreed to help us out initially. Memorial Field Grandstand renovation project. The renovation bid package is out for bid with bid opening scheduled for September 28th, 3 p.m. at City Hall. Architects West is working on one addendum, which removes a fire sprinkler system and replaces it with a fire-rated walls and ceiling. Currently, there are 6 general contractors on the plan holders list. And I think people are interested in the bid alternatives that were included in the packet. There were 8. They were optional structural upgrades, new bleacher steps, relocate field lights from poles to roof, gutters, downspouts, storm drainage system, a plywood floor, subfloor, and surface on bleachers, treads, and risers, a scoring platform, stainless steel toilets and lavatories in public toilet rooms, and cedar siding in lieu of spruce siding. So those would be the add alternates that will be that are included in the bid package. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some good bids on the 28th. Southeast Way Road revitalization update. As we kind of briefly touched on, landscape planning should begin at the Grand Mill intersection at the beginning of next week. Once that's finished, the contractor will move their focus to the Atlas roundabout. Their goal is to finish landscaping on the entire project by the end of the month. Once landscaping is done, a few minor miscellaneous issues will need to be addressed per the punch list. So they're getting close, and they're very optimistic that they'll have most of the landscaping done by the end of this month. The North Idaho Collaborative Education Facility, the NICE project, from my understanding, is moving along without any significant issues. An update on the North Park Drive lot sales. As you know, we have sold 6 lots. We have 2 lots, lots 6 and 9, under contract. We hope to close on them prior to October 15th. That leaves 2 lots remaining, lots 1 and 3, that are currently listed through Lowe's Flat Fee Realty. Lot 1 at a price of $239,000 and lot 3 at a sale price of $279,000. So we're moving along, and we have 2 lots left to sell.
Good.
And that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Brad.
A couple of questions, Mr. Chairman. When does that Lowe's Realty contract expire? Isn't that in October?
October 16th.
That was a 6 month.
Yeah. So what do we want to do with that? Since it'll expire before our next meeting, do we want to go ahead and let it expire and discuss it then, or do we want to?
Since it's not on the agenda tonight, I mean, you guys can talk, but you can't make a decision.
Okay, so there's nothing we can do anyway, then I guess we'll have to put it on the agenda for next time.
Our thinking cap's on for next month.
Yeah, okay. Then my other question, on the Memorial Field Grandstand, I think technically that's a city project with urban renewal funding, so I'm trying to get my arms around what it is. So anyway, when the bids come in and we, see if we got lucky or not on the bids, where do we decide on the upgrades? Is that here, or is that a city function? The funding's coming from here, I think, isn't it, or is part of it with
Not
the
all of
city?
it.
So the way that is structured is that the city will make the award based on the funding they have available. So as you recall, in August or July, you agreed to another $161,000 in funding for upgrades, and the city's Park and Rec Commission kicked in another $135,000. So theoretically, there's extra money in the budget for add alternate awards. So the city would be making that call,
Okay.
is my understanding.
So what's the budget so far for that? Is 150 from,
So we have, the current funding budget is Ignite at $1,011,000, NIC at $150,000, and the city at $135,000.
So we've committed our funding, so then it'd be a city council decision when the bids come in. Okay, just wondered.
looking forward to that. It'll be nice.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's all I have, sir.
Election of officers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion that Commissioner Hoskins be nominated as Ignite CDA Board Chair and that Commissioner Metz be nominated as Ignite CDA Vice Chair for fiscal year 2019.
Yeah, I'll second that.
I'd third it.
I don't see anyone else lined up.
Good job, though.
That was a motion?
We need a second. That was a motion.
Yeah, that's
Got a
second.
second and a
couple
We had a
seconds.
third. We had a third, too.
Yeah, you had a second and a third.
You want a fourth?
I think your chances are pretty
How
good.
about 100? A sixth? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you very much. Happy to do it. Just one meeting a month, I was told. We had
Yeah.
That's
Or
what I was
five
told
just last
too,
month.
yeah.
We're happy to have you.
So,
Those were special.
board commissioner comments. Hearing none, how about our last section for public comment? Any public comment? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to enter executive session according to Idaho Code Section 74-206, subsection 1B, to consider the evaluation of Ignite CDA Executive Director, and 1F, to communicate the legal counsel pending litigation.
I second that.
We need a motion.
You
You
have,
need a motion.
Yeah, you're the
Sorry, I thought we were
motioner.
getting the motion.
yeah. I'll second you if you want to make
All right,
that
I'll make a
motion.
motion. Executive session, Idaho Code 74-206, subsection 1B, to consider the elevation of Ignite CDA Executive,
Evaluation.
excuse me, the evaluation of
We can
Ignite
elevate
Elevation.
We can elevate them too.
Executive Director. Subsection 1F, to communicate with legal counsel regarding pending litigation. Do I have a second?
I seconded you.
Thank you.
We need a roll call.
Roll call. Whitmire.
Yes.
Jordan.
Yes.
English.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Hoskins. Yes. Chapkus.
Yes.
Thank you. We're in executive session, and that's a wrap.